The Classic Edge is the easiest to operate clean burning furnace on the market. It operates differently than traditional wood furnaces, so in this video we'll show you how it works, how to operate, and how to use it for best results. Here's a Classic Edge we cut in half. The wood is loaded here and burns in the upper firebox. Now in a traditional wood stove, the smoke and the gases escape out the chimney. This is wasted fuel. What we do is we capture and harness those wasted fuels and burn them up. We do this by forcing them down through the hot coal bed into the lower chamber. As they're passing through the coal bed, we're adding more oxygen. This causes them to ignite. This gives you an impressive blowtorch flame in the lower reaction chamber with temperatures approaching 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Operating the Classic Edge is easy. It just comes down to two things: maintaining proper airflow and an adequate coal bed. Let's take a look at some basic operations. The first step is to establish a coal bed. Whether it's the beginning of the heating season or if the coal bed has burned down too far, you need a coal bed. Here, you can see a healthy coal bed. It's around 3 inches deep. Here's how you establish a coal bed. After you've filled your furnace with water treatment and water, add kindling, or the driest wood you have, to the firebox, about 15 inches deep. If your furnace has a bypass, open the bypass during the startup process. Use paper and a garden torch to ignite the kindling and close the firebox door. Allow the kindling to burn to coals and add a little more kindling or your driest wood to protect the coal bed from going out. At this point, you should have the glowing coal bed established and the firebox can be loaded for use. On models with a bypass handle, close the bypass for standard operation. With an adequate coal bed, operating the furnace is a snap. All you have to do is put enough wood in to maintain an adequate coal bed and use the cleaning rod to maintain airflow. Here's what you'll need to do from day to day. Before loading wood into the furnace, run the cleaning rod around the perimeter of the firebox and along each side of the air charge tube. Also, run it under the door frame to keep the air holes free of obstruction. This simple step helps keep airflow through the furnace. It also helps keep the ash from compacting and not falling into the reaction chamber. When reloading the furnace with wood, keep in mind the existing coal bed. If you are using dry seasoned wood, a normal coal bed will ignite it. If the wood you are using is wetter than you would like, you will need a fair amount of the previous wood load remaining when you load it. If the furnace has been reloaded more often than needed, the coal bed can get too deep and approach or obstruct the air holes in the firebox. If you notice the coal bed is getting too deep, simply use the cleaning rod to keep air flowing through it and load less wood this time to allow the coals to burn down. If the coal bed is burned down below the 3-inch recommendation, go through the steps to reestablish the coal bed with dry kindling or the driest wood you have. If you try to reload the furnace with the coal bed too shallow, the furnace will not operate properly and the fire may even go out. As you go through several firebox loads of wood, the ashes accumulate in the reaction chamber. Occasionally, these will need to be removed to maintain airflow through the furnace. Remember, airflow needs to be free of obstruction from the intake, through the air holes in the firebox, down through the combustion chamber, through the reaction chamber, and out the heat exchanger and chimney. The rear door makes it easy to maintain airflow through the heat exchanger. Simply run the cleaning rod through the heat exchanger and up into the chimney area. With a coal bed and proper airflow, your furnace is going to run great. You should see reaction chamber temperatures of at least 1,000 degrees displayed on the controller for most burn cycles. Due to the sensor's temperature limits and position, the actual reaction chamber temperature is much hotter than displayed, even approaching 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. You can easily verify that your furnace is operating properly with the Firestar controller and by using myfirestar.com. Here's an example of a chart from a Classic Edge that is performing wonderfully. You can see the furnace is getting into high mode every time with very high reaction chamber temperatures. Using these charts is a great way to monitor the heartbeat of your furnace. Go to centralboiler.com for more information and to find a dealer near you.